Hey guys, this is Robert Dailey with the Recreational Woodworker. Today we are continuing our How to Build Kitchen Cabinet series with this drawer bank right here. Throughout this entire series, I'm showing you step by step how to build your own kitchen cabinets, install them, and we'll have a set of plans available for you to purchase so that you can build your own kitchen cabinets. The first video in the series is our sink base, which is where you probably want to start. And I showed you in great detail, step by step, how to build a sink base. The second video was how to build your corner cabinet with the Lazy Susan in it, and I showed you step by step how to build that. This is a combination of those videos, so I'm starting with the box already built. Throughout our kitchen cabinet series, all of our cabinet sides for the base are exactly the same. And the principles we use for our spreaders and our floor and our face frames are the same. There are a few unique things I want to show you about this cabinet. So I think I covered this in another video, but I wanted to go over the sizing of kitchen cabinets, or the standard sizing. Obviously, you can build your kitchen cabinets however you want and whatever sizes you want, but there are certain standards. Kitchen cabinets typically are built in 3-inch increments starting at 9 inches. So it goes 9 inches, 12 inches, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, and then it skips to 36 most times. Sometimes you can get a 33-inch cabinet, but I've rarely seen them manufacturing. Now, that's just kind of the industry standard. If you go to Lowe's, Home Depot, or a cabinet shop, those are going to be the set sizes that you're going to buy. I'm following that standard because it's very easy to work with, and it allows me to have a set of plans that's easy to hand off to you, and then you can customize and make that one cabinet 2 inches wider or an inch shorter on your own. And here is one of those customizations that I've done. You'll notice that this face frame is uneven. On all of the cabinets that I'm showing you how to build, we're using an 1.5 inch face frame all the way around. This is what started with, and as in the plans, as a 24-inch cabinet. A 24-inch cabinet means that the face frame is supposed to be 24 inches exactly. The way we're building our cabinets, the inside edge of the cabinet is flush with the edge of the face frame. This is going to make installing drawers super easy in a minute. But my gap that I had, according to my computer model, had 25 inches was the space I had there. After I customized my corner cabinet a little bit, that 25 inches shrank just a little bit. And so I was unsure exactly what that dimension is. So what I did is I made this face frame right here where it's going to join up with my corner cabinet. I went ahead and made it a full 3 inches. That gives me 2 3/4 of an inch that I can ultimately cut off of this cabinet to join it with the other one if I need to. It gives me 3/4 of an inch on the other side to make that final fitment and get a really good alignment on my cabinets. And so that's something that I do on my cabinets to give me just that little bit of wiggle room. So I could have made it 25, gone in there, and I would have still had a little bit of scribe room, but this way I have a ton of scribe room. I think the actual finished face frame dimension is 25.5. So you can see I can cut off 1.5 inches off of here to make it the size that it is in the plans. And that's one way to customize it. Essentially, when you're building all of your lower cabinets and your top ones, the spreaders and the floor right here, you essentially just cut that 3 inches shorter than the total width of your cabinet. So if you need a super custom cabinet that is 30 5/8 inches, you subtract 3 inches from it, and that gets you 27 5/8, and then that's what you cut this and these top and bottom spreaders to, and that's how you size your cabinets when you're building them. And then you just build your face frame accordingly, or if you want to, you can build your face frame first, and you can build your face frame the size you need it to be, and then measure and build your cabinets around it. So those are a couple of different ways to do it. Now there's a few standard things for kitchen cabinets that I want to go over with you. Typically, your top your top drawer in your kitchen, where your forks go, your junk drawers, that's a 5-inch tall opening, and then the width is whatever width that it ends up being, whether this is a 12-inch, an 18-inch, a 21-inch, or a 24-inch. Then that's just spaced accordingly. So I'm not going to show you videos on building all the widths of cabinets, but I will have the dimensions in the plans. So this opening is always 5 inches tall. So I did what every woodworker should do and love, is I made a jig. There's always a jig for that, okay? And I'm actually going to put that on a shirt. There's a jig for that. So I have kitchen cabinet top drawer spacer, 5 inches. You can see that fits in right there, and when I'm building my face frame, I don't even have to measure or mark, because I just know I butt this board up, I build my rectangle, I butt this board up tight here, squeeze it together, run my screws in, and it holds perfectly. Same thing on this side, and I spaced it. Now, you can do as many drawers as you want. It's super easy. You just need to determine, do some math, divide them out how you want it. But we decided that we wanted 3 drawer cabinets, and we wanted the bottom drawers to be deep for big pots, and the middle drawer just a little bit deeper. So I did the math, and 12 inches opening is what I need. So I came in same way from the bottom this time and measured 12 inches and made my jig. So all my other cabinets that I make are gonna work, and that's a standard I have. This took 30 seconds to make, but already has paid for itself in time saved. And then this top one, I don't even know what this is, to be honest with you, but it is 8 3/16 total. Just that's the way the math worked out. And then I'll just size my drawers accordingly. Now, no matter what type of drawer slide you're using, building your cabinets with the inside of the cabinet flush with the face frame is going to make your life way easier. And let me show you what I mean by that. Alright guys, I already have 3 videos out on building drawers, installing drawers for both your side mount drawer slides like this and your undermount drawer slides. So there will be a link to those videos as well. I'm not going to cover that in exhaustive detail here. I just want to give you kind of the high level overview. So the reason I like doing this is I don't have any other work to do. I don't have to come in, add some type of cleat right here, mount it to that, screw it together. I show you how to do that because the furniture piece I was building at the time required it. But this way, I don't have to do that. I might use some type of spacer from the bottom, and then this drawer slide would simply attach right here. That's done. I don't need any other hardware, anything like that. And then I attach it on the other side the same way, measure, cut my drawers according to the dimensions. I will spec out the dimensions for undermount drawers on our drawer banks, because those are the slides I'm using. If you're using these, you'll have to watch that other video. But same thing here. I can use my Craig jig that I have to help me hold that square, and then it's attached. It makes it super, super easy. I don't need any third-party brackets. I don't need any special cleats or anything like that. It just attaches. And I'm using undermount drawer slides, and let me show you that real quick. Now in my kitchen and in the plans, I'm specifying undermount drawer slides. The correct depth for a 24-inch cabinet is a 21-inch drawer slide. That means my drawer is going to be a 21-inch deep drawer slide. So it's going to sit right here, and you notice I can just set it on the floor of the cabinet. I have a jig that indexes where the screw hole goes, and I'll show you that in a second. I do have an improved version of my jig from my old video based on some feedback from another cabinet maker. He had a better idea for a jig, so I'm going to show you that as well. But that sits right here, and then you attach it, you build your drawer, boom, you're done. Drawer face is going to be an overlay drawer and door face, and super easy to build it this way. No brackets, no holders, nothing. It's just right here. I'll use my Craig jig that holds itself up that helps support this, and boom, we're done. See how easy that is? Now, you might be wondering, what if I don't want a drawer bank? What if I just want a cabinet door? That's easy. You just delete this. You just don't put this here. And then you can have a cabinet door on it. It's super easy. You can install a shelf. I'll show you how to do shelf pins, because we are going to use shelf pins extensively on my upper cabinets. And so whenever I do that video, I'll show you how to lay out shelf pins with the Craig shelf pin jig. It's about $20, save you a lot of frustration, and well worth the money. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this. I'm gonna set up my new jig, show you how that new jig works for installing these, and then I'll show you how to get these upper drawers and support them, because it is a little bit, it's a little bit hard to hold a drawer slide up in the air and get it right. I could probably lay my drawer over on the side, and that's exactly what I'll do. Alright, so I made my jig, and I did post on Instagram about that, so probably about a month ago you'll see how I made this jig. But this is my new jig for my Blum undermount drawer slides. Now in my video where I showed you how to make it, I had this gauge. They work very differently but accomplish the same goal. So on my first video, I used this was my setback gauge, and then I would reference that off the edge, hold it all in place, especially up here, wrestle it into place, and then boom, I'd be good. Well, I've since gone and made this jig thanks to a friend of mine on our private Facebook group, the Recreational Woodworker. He has a jig like this, where he just sets it in place, takes his drill, pre-drills a hole, takes it, flips it 180 degrees, comes to the other one, and drills this hole. And then we just change out to a screwdriver, turn it down, and now it's set where that screw is pre-drilled into my style, and that perfectly indexes my drawer. That saves a lot of time, makes life easier, and isn't that just sweet? And so now I can easily just index these in place. Now I'm ready to install my drawer slides here. Now, if you don't have the luxury of laying your cabinet down, then what you do, so let me just show you real quick, is if it's standing up like this, you probably want to make a square line, and it's kind of hard because you've got to square off your style. You could square like this if you needed to, where you could make a line that way, and then that way you have more to reference off of. Or of course you can get your Craig drawer slide installation guys. In this case, wait, wrong side. Yeah. In this case we want it to be flush with the top, and so we take it, we'd clamp it like this. Let me get it down. Get it flush, tighten it up, and now our drawer slide can just sit in place. It does want to sag at the back, so you do want to check and make sure it's square, but that's one way to do it if you don't have the luxury of laying it over. But I'm gonna lay it over. So now I've got it on my side here, and I'm just going to take my square. I'm going to line everything up like that. Going to scrabble on. Now I'm going to take my jig. I've got to come off the edge of my table to drill that out real quick. So let's do that. So drill my hole. I'll go ahead and do this one as well. There we go, that's drilled. So now, and I took the drawer slide out here because I still need to sand this, but I wanted to finish this video. Alright, now I take my drawer slide. I align it with my screw hole. I align it with my pencil line. I've already pre-drilled, so I just run that in. That indexes and holds it in place. And you do have some micro adjustment there. Make sure it's flush with my line, and then I'm just going to come in and put in another screw. And because this is plywood, you don't have to pre-drill it. Run another screw in, one more in the back, and boom, we're done. How easy is that? Perfectly aligned, perfectly indexed, no brackets, no special tools, super easy. You're welcome. Alright guys, so I'm gonna finish this up. Drawers, I already have a video on making those, and we'll cut back to actually in a separate video I'll show you installing the drawer face. No, I already have a video on installing drawer faces. That's the same too. But we will come back showing you how to install doors, how to measure, all that kind of stuff in another video about measuring your doors. Alright, thanks for watching guys. I hope you found this video useful. If you liked it, give it a like. Disliked it, give it a dislike. And I would love it if you'd subscribe, ring the bell, and go join us on our private Facebook group, The Recreational Woodworker. We exist to help you build great furniture. We'll see you next time. Bye.